Beginning this week's meditation, using breath to settle and the practice of rain to help us notice what is at the moment, what is passing through in our flow of experience in these last couple of days. And in our normal, familiar, comfortable way, we notice just how we feel and how easy it is or how tricky it is to settle in this moment by dropping our awareness on our whole body experience and noticing how we settle into the right physical position, checking our posture, noticing a sense of dignity and strength in our posture, and knowing that we can move at any point during any of our meditations together. This isn't about sitting rigidly and holding tight to one posture. It's about relaxing into the moment with whatever's right for each of us, depending on where we are, where we've arrived at this moment. Setting our intention. Our intention for this practice is to allow ourselves to steady and settle our minds, and then with a light touch, maybe even playfulness, observe the flow of our experience. And with the intention of keeping a mind of compassion to self, and easing off the pedal when we realise we're getting a little too close to heavy thoughts, rather than just sitting comfortably with the experience. And our motivation for this, by practicing rain as a group, there's a felt sense of security, and it allows us to find moments of insight, which are usually blurred by the loud noise, the white noise of our thoughts and our worries. And a sense of just being okay, even in the trickiest of times, can come out of a short, simple rain practice, especially when done together. So as you're following my voice and settling into this meditation, you'll be dropping your awareness onto your breath, the breath that settles our mind. Following that breath in its natural rhythm for a moment or two, and just becoming aware of the physical sensation of breathing, what our body is telling us as the breath passes in and releases. This is not only your settling breath, but it's your checking in moment. And maybe you're already realizing your mind is flitting around all over the place and your body is a bit restless. Or maybe you're noticing that it's quite easy just to land here this evening. What do you notice? Following the breath, breathing in, breathing out, and dropping in the counting. Counting of 3 or maybe 4 on each breath in and each breath out. Or maybe we're using the phrases something like I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Allowing this rhythm of breath to become really apparent, tuning into it. How does that rhythm feel tonight? Maybe you're noticing your chest rising and falling. Maybe even your shoulders or your belly. Really tuning in just to your breath. If you're finding it a little hard to settle and you like visualization, you could bring something to mind that flows in time with your slightly steadying, slowing breath. I like to imagine standing on the shore with the water lapping up around my feet. It rises and it falls, and I can imagine looking down at my feet as they nestle, dropping anchor into the sand. My breath is flowing with the tide as my feet sink slightly more deeply into the sand. Landing right here in this moment. Simply by following our own beautiful breath and allowing ourselves to be aware of how our body feels. As we shift our awareness down to our feet and begin our body scan, we're going to gradually scan from the tips of our toes all the way up to the top of our heads, and then broaden out to a whole body scan from there. So beginning with the tips of our toes. Maybe we've got socks or slippers on this cold winter's evening. Give your toes a wriggle. And allow your feet to spread and rest firmly on the floor beneath you, taking root, dropping anchor. How do they feel? Is there a particular point where you feel the contact more strong? Now moving your scan gradually from your feet up past your ankle joints and up the lower parts of your legs, both the shins and the calf muscles. Noticing any temperature changes, sensations of fabric on skin. And as your mind wanders, just bringing it back with kindness, just back to your scan. Scanning on up around your knee joints. Maybe you're noticing the vibration of the day spent on your feet or sitting at a desk. What do you notice? Continuing up the upper half of your leg, the backs of your thighs and the fronts of your thighs. Maybe your hands resting on your laps. The warmth of the connection between hand and leg. And scanning on up to the point where your bottom meets the seat beneath you. How does this point of connection feel? Can you feel the weight of your body settling into the cushion beneath you? Maybe you need to alter your posture very slightly and give a little wriggle and just land again to get that sense of dropping anchor right here in this moment, in this space. Continuing your scan up around your pelvis and your lower back and that lower part of your abdomen. And each time your mind wanders, as distraction arises, that's okay. Once you've noticed, you just bring your focus back to your scan, placing your awareness with intention simply on your body. tuning into the physical sensations of your body that is always in the present, the body that supports the settling mind. Continuing your scan now, gradually up your spine to the top half of your torso, your heart center, the center of compassion, that core center where insight arises. Maybe you're noticing the rise and the fall of your chest. Tension or relaxation, comfort or discomfort, warmth or coolness. Just checking in. Noticing where you're holding your tension this evening. No need to follow the distraction of wondering why. It just simply is. And maybe if you find discomfort, you can use your breath for a moment in your own time to ease that discomfort. Checking in all around your shoulders, and maybe down your arms. All the way down both arms together and down to your hands. Let's place our awareness in the palms of our hands. Maybe stretching out your hands to change the sensation and just tuning into it for a moment. Right down to your fingertips. We can move our focus, place our awareness wherever we choose. How does this feel right now? Your hands resting on your lap. As you then scan up, back past your elbow joints, all the way back up to your armpits, and across the top of your shoulders, to the base of your skull at the back of your head. And from there, let's imagine your scan coming up and over your whole scalp. And then taking in your facial features, your mouth, your ears, every follicle of your hair, your whole head experience. What can you sense in your whole head experience? Tiny sensations, aches and tiredness, or relaxation and soothingness, or maybe not much at all. Imagine scanning right to that point at the very top of your scalp, and imagining for a moment that golden thread that now runs from the base of your spine, gradually up through your skull and out the top of your head. And if you were to just tweak it up a bit, it would lift your whole body into a posture of strength and dignity. And from this posture, this point of strength and dignity and groundedness, let's spread our awareness out now, expand it out, like fanning it down, like a ray of light from the tip point there at the top of your skull, radiating out down across your whole body experience. Checking in with your entire body experience with this broad, expansive awareness. How do I feel right now, in this moment, having dropped anchor right here? As I move into the resting phase, landing here in the resting phase of meditation. this expansive awareness of just being, shifting away from the thinking and the doing and simply being right here in this moment. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. This is my moment. This is my meditation. And landing here, imagine landing in a pool of compassion for self and others. And become aware of how that feels. Any felt sense of peace and compassion for self. Where do you feel it? And how weak or how strong is that feeling? And if it's one that's a bit evasive, and your chest feels a little tight as you land here, go gently with your meditation tonight. As we begin our rain practice together. Resting here, using the support of breath, with a light focus on our breathing, the flow of our breath in and out, as we allow ourselves to rest on the bank of the river of the flow of our experience, just watching. Our place of our focus with a light touch on breath and a gentle awareness on whatever arises in this safe holding space of meditation. And we begin to recognize distraction arising. Some just passes and some is a bit more sticky. We can use that lovely analogy of the guest house. The stickier thoughts, the stickier distractions, the stickier emotions and feelings are a new guest wandering up our path to our guest house. The guest is already here and will pass through. So let's just accept with an attitude of simply saying, okay, come on in then, have a cup of tea. Visualize just standing back and welcoming that guest in. They're coming anyway. They're passing through, and maybe it's a very familiar guest. Something that you recognize that passes through your life, your flow of experience. And that's okay. Even the uncomfortable, unwelcome guests. In this moment, in this space, just welcome them. Sharing a cuppa and noticing how they pass, and another guest arises. Knowing that at any point you can choose to move slightly back from your awareness and place your focus more firmly on your breath to steady yourself again. This is in our own control, our own choice. Our own beautiful breath holds us safe. resting here with whatever arises, even if that arises is drifting into sleep. And maybe there's a guest that keeps on returning, or is less willing to move on just yet. One that makes us feel a little bit more tense, a little bit less comfortable. That's okay. If this does happen in our meditation, we can simply say, I need a little more curiosity. Let's take a deeper look from this safe resting place of meditation, using our breath to hold us steady as we observe. We'll offer this guest a nice piece of cake too, and show some compassion. This too will pass, if we simply allow it to be. And the nurturing, the compassion, our favourite bit of cake. Sharing with our experience, with an attitude of, this is okay. My flow of experience is not my fixed identity. It's the sum of my whole life experience that passes through me in waves that I can just allow to be. The seeing is the doing. And just by seeing what is in this resting space with a light touch of awareness, insight arises and the moment passes. So allowing us all just to rest here with our flow of experience for a few more moments of silent meditation. Remembering to use your breath to hold you steady with a light touch. And now easing away from our flow of thoughts, gently placing our awareness just on the natural flow of our breath once more. Tuning into the detailed sensation of the air, the coolness of air passing in through your nose, passing through those tiny hairs in your nostrils, hearing it in your own head, feeling it in your chest. Now Noticing the gradual rhythmic movement of your whole body as you breathe. And following this for a few moments. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing more. The simplicity of our own beautiful breath is the rocket science of our body, our settling mind. Following its natural rhythm, tuning into your own natural rhythm. Now, broadening out your awareness from the close focus of breath out to a body awareness of your whole body experience in this moment. What's my body telling me right now? Expanding out again a little more to the full experience of sitting here in this space, maybe the air on your skin or the touch of the fabric of the seat, the floor beneath you. Maybe the gentle movement of air or the temperature of air. Zoning out a little further, becoming aware of sound and movement slightly further from you in the room. Maybe awareness of people beyond the door, or beyond the house. A sense of people and the world out there just being there. Imagining widening our focus, broadening it out. And imagining from that core heart center where we rested in meditation, carrying out, rippling out from us into our life beyond this particular space, any feeling of restedness and compassion. Choosing to carry it into the next moments, the next hours, maybe the next days, maybe as a constant ripple behind the scenes. Maybe this practice is now becoming so familiar that you can just touch into it because it's always there. Gently there as just the core of yourself. This rested sense of compassion, kindness to self, will carry out there into your whole life experience. Gifting it to the others around you. And when you're ready, in your own time, coming to the end of your practice, until we next come together.